rainy Wednesday. I spent all day on the road yesterday, and so I managed to drop my daily pattern interrupter from a cemetery some 300 kilometers away from here. And now I'm back home with the fire going, listening to the rain and watching the back garden become even more flooded. Got nothing to talk about today, apart from how I've been listening to a lot of Myron Golden's work, and he's got a very cerebral and what's the word really? I wouldn't call it, he's got a spiritual outlook about wealth creation, but he also has a conceptual outlook about wealth creation. And I'd be really keen to hear what you think about this. His view is that if you want to create wealth and you want to gain wealth in your life, then the best thing to do is to give things to other people for free. And I think there's a lot of virtue in that. I also think there's a lot of hard-headed reality about giving for free, especially when you look at the social media world in which we live. Now, I'm doing this for free. The only thing that you need to pay me in order to partake in this pattern interrupter meeting is a little bit of your time. And the proof of Myron Golden's concept is that if I didn't spend time now talking to you, you wouldn't know who I am. So what's the point of me putting myself out here and then charging you for the privilege? That would be counterproductive. And let's face it, nobody would be interested. By the way, if you are interested in paying me simply for me to post on a daily basis, feel free to do so. But my point is that you've got a kind of a feedback loop going, haven't you? You can't expect people to know who you are and develop any kind of relationship with other people unless you're prepared to put yourself out there and actually communicate with other people. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm communicating with you, and I'm hoping that you are enjoying the communication. And that's why I drop every day, because eventually I will wear you down. Eventually, I will have a product that I want to put out in front of people. And it may be if there are 12 people here at the moment, and somebody wants to give me a thumbs up, I'd love that. If there are 12 people here at the moment, and there were 12 people here yesterday and 12 the day before, eventually, on a statistical level, somebody is going to want to work with me at some stage. And I really look forward to getting those first clients. The way that I'm going to get those first clients is by putting out a tiny challenge or a short-term challenge. Thank you. Shiny Cat, thank you very much. It's great to see your presence and it's great to see your feedback. What I want to do is I want to put out a 5-day challenge for anybody who may feel that they are shy, reserved, conflict averse, and they feel that this is impacting on their lives. Being shy, being friction averse, being socially awkward even, this affects many of us. But one of the problems we have is that if we become too agreeable, it can affect our work and our relationships, and it can affect our romances. And so part of my mission is to try and assist people to come to terms with that and realize that instead of describing themselves as having a shy personality, they come to terms with the idea that they are running neurological loops on rinse and repeat patterns. Am I AI, Shiny? No, I'm not AI. Some days I wonder whether I've even got genuine intelligence, let alone artificial intelligence. Now, come on, let's be realistic. If you were going to generate an AI avatar, would you make it look like this? No, You can be assured that I am the real deal. 3 thumbs up. That's great to hear. 3 real thumbs up, I hope, not AI ones. Hello there. Hello, Mr. Butler. How are you? Yeah. So, Shiny Cat, I wonder why you think I might be AI. I must confess, that's an interesting question to ask somebody. What am I doing that suggests I may be AI? Is my delivery that flawless? Probably it might be because I speak in a disjointed sort of way, perhaps. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy my vids. Yeah, it's great to know that actually the work I'm doing is going out there and people are on the receiving end, because it's a little bit perfect wordplay. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is slightly different. This is called having an education. Do you know what? I think that AI for certain people is going to be a wonderful thing. If you've got critical thinking skills, AI is going to be a great tool for anybody who can think critically. Unfortunately, there's going to be a whole generation of people who are going to have brain rot as a result of AI exposure. So AI is going to perhaps create a final generation of critical thinkers. And I might be one of them, you never know. So thank you for saying you love my vids, Michael. That's great to hear. It's also great to know, as I said before, that there are other people on the receiving end of what I'm doing. There's an old book and film, I think, called The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. I think brain rot is dead. Don't worry. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think there's also an analogy there for the YouTube creator called, or the small creator in particular, called the loneliness of the YouTube creator, because you do become quite thirsty and hungry checking the algorithm and checking to see who's watching and who wants to respond and all this kind of stuff. I set myself a 2-year program, really, to try and get traction on YouTube. And so this is all part of it. So anyway, just to reiterate, it's great to be interacting with people, and it's great to have an opportunity. In fact, it blows my mind to have the ability and the opportunity to be able to post daily and reach people all around the world. Whereabouts are you in the world? I'm here in New Zealand in the South Island. How many of you are from, I've had people from Indonesia, America, Ireland. I've had people from the UK. Whereabouts are you guys from? I'm always interested to know whereabouts in the world. Texas. Oh, how cool is that, Shiny Cat? That's so cool. My son got a handwritten note from a company in Texas when he received a delivery just a couple of days ago, and it made his day. I told him that's good marketing, that is. Texas, America. I love the way American people stipulate that the state is in America. Like they say London, England. It's like, what? Okay. But then I realized there is a London in America, no doubt. So you need to have that stipulation. Buffalo, New York. Wow. Whereabouts is New Jersey in relationship to Buffalo, New York? Because it seems to me that practically every form of entertainment I've watched in the last 20, 30 years seems to be based in New Jersey. What is it about New Jersey? Excuse my ignorance of local New York and indeed American geography. So down here in the South Island of New Zealand, we've had a couple of days of rain. And as I showed people yesterday, I don't know if you can see that, that's what my back garden looks like at the moment. And what we've got is that in the back garden, beyond the trees, there's a creek. And the creek is usually dry. But every so often we get a lot of rain and then we get a flooded back garden. It never reaches the house. It gets heavy and it runs off across the driveway, but we never get the house flooded, which is a small mercy, I suppose. So anyway, the products that I'm going to be developing is a 5-day challenge for people who feel that they are shy, overly compliant, maybe a nice guy, and they feel like this is impacting. Where am I from, Michael? I'm from the UK originally. I'm from Grimsby in Lincolnshire, but I've been here in New Zealand at least for the last 20 years on this occasion. I've been to and from New Zealand a couple of times. But right now I'm in a little place called Hamden, which is a small seacoast village in the South Island of New Zealand. Something I think, oh, here we go. I've got add a Q&A sticker. It says something you think is overrated. I'll tell you what, now I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered doing a Q&A sticker. I'll ask you a question directly. If you were given the opportunity to go back in time, I'm 63, unfortunately, but that's apropos of this. If you were given an opportunity to go back in time, say, to visit your younger self and advise your younger self, or you were given an opportunity to have $1 million, which one would you take? Would you take the $1 million, or would you take the opportunity to go back in time and give your younger self some advice? I'd be interested to see what your response to that is. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to go back in time and give yourself some advice? Or are you going to choose to grab a suitcase with $1 million in it? Are you, what is that, UNC? What does that mean? Are you UNC? I don't understand the question. What is UNC? We're going to have to onk. You go back in time, would you? Yeah, me too. Yeah. I believe that the vast majority of people would opt to go back in time if they had the opportunity. I wonder if I'd be any different. I wonder if I went back in time and I were able to advise myself. I wonder what advice I'd offer. I think one of the main things I would offer is don't try to please other people, because ultimately you have to please yourself, which isn't the same as being selfish, I hasten to add. But it's why I've come to this stage of my life where I'm providing coaching materials for people who may feel that they are afflicted by being too agreeable and that their lives are passing them by. Because one of the problems about being too agreeable and too compliant is that you get overlooked. You get overlooked at work, you get overlooked in romance, you get overlooked in your own family relationships. You might end up as Homer Simpson in your own family. You might end up as a sitcom dad, basically patronized, slightly comical character that nobody takes seriously. So if I had my time again, if I could go back and offer myself advice, I would tell my younger self not to please other people and to make decisions, to stand by my word and be a little bit more, in fact, a whole lot more assertive about what my wants and needs are. I'm trying to live by that code now as an older man. I wonder if this is one of the consequences of aging, that eventually you just don't give a toss. You don't give a shit after a while. Anyway, I will continue to drop on a daily basis. I'm going to go now. I'm going to gap it. If anybody wants to subscribe to my channel, The Pattern Interrupter, please do feel free to do so. I'm looking to get to my 200th video, and then I'm going to review where I stand. The first 200 videos really have been about building my skills and my skills base, learning how to talk, learning how to do thumbnails and descriptions. And having learned all those things, I've got to the stage where, frankly, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm starting to think that if I just spend my whole time chasing other people's advice, I'm going to lose out, because I really need to develop my own mind and develop my own tastes and develop my own preferences. Kia ora. Jay Biggs, how you doing? Kia ora, my bro. You good? I'm going to be going soon, so if you've got a question, you better squirt it out quick. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time. I've been here nearly 14 minutes. I'll tell you what, this live streaming game can become seriously addictive. If I'm not careful, I might end up just live streaming all day. I don't know who would want to watch that or even partake, but anyway. I'm getting into 14, 15 minutes today. When I first started doing this, I think I was good for about 7 minutes, and then I scuttled off with my tail between my legs, but now I'm getting overly comfortable with this idea. Maybe I should nip it in the bud. All right, my friends, I'm going to get going. That was today's daily drop from the pattern interrupter. Keep watching this space and I'll let you know a little bit more about the 5-day challenge I'm going to run. And if anybody wants to take part in the 5-day challenge, maybe I should just set it up and run it on my daily drops and just do it on a rinse and repeat loop. I intend to do the 5-day challenges between now and October. So if you were to take part in one of the days and you missed a day, you could always pop back later or find out when the next one is going to be. Do you know what? I have some good ideas when I'm doing live streaming. I think I might do that. All right, I'll catch you all tomorrow. All being well. Peace out, my friends, and remember, whatever it is you dare to do or dream, you can begin it now.